Hi everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about writing simple inequalities. So here's a good strategy. To figure out what inequality represents a verbal statement, it is a good idea to ask yourself what numbers would satisfy the statement. So here we have a verbal statement, which just means we're saying something in words. The minimum number of sandwiches we should bring is 5. The minimum number of sandwiches is 5. That means that 5 is the lowest number that we can bring. If we bring anything less than that, then some people will go hungry. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this strategy, and we're going to ask ourselves, well, if the minimum number of sandwiches is 5, then is it okay to bring exactly 5 sandwiches? Is that okay? Well, yes, it is okay. So I'm going to represent that with a closed circle over the 5, right? So this would be an open circle, and this is a closed circle. So bringing 5 sandwiches is okay if 5 is the minimum. Would it be okay to bring 4 sandwiches? No. If 5 is the minimum, then we don't want to bring anything less than that. Would it be okay to bring 6 sandwiches? Sure, 6 sandwiches would be okay. Would it be all right to bring 7 sandwiches? Yeah, that would be fine. So you can see anything more than 5 is also fine. So if the minimum is 5, then that means that we need to bring 5 or more sandwiches. So which of these inequalities shows 5 or more? So that means that S, which stands for the number of sandwiches, should be greater than or equal to 5. So that would be these two. Okay, so you can see in both of these here, S is next to the mouth part of the inequality, which means that S could be greater than 5, or this part of it tells us that S could be exactly equal to 5. All right, so let's move on to the next one. The maximum number of sandwiches we should bring is 5. Well, if the maximum number of, so maybe if we bring, if maximum, the number maximum means that that's the most you can have. The word maximum means that's the most you can have. So maybe, I don't know, if we bring more than 5 sandwiches, maybe our backpack would explode or something. I don't know. But for whatever reason, 5 is the greatest number of sandwiches that we can bring. So if 5 is the maximum, would it be okay to bring exactly 5? Yes, that would be okay. But we don't want to bring any more than that, okay? So would it be okay to bring 6 or 7 or 8? No. But would it be okay to bring 4? Yeah, that would be okay. Would it be all right to bring 3? That's fine, okay? So if 5 is the maximum, then that means that we can bring 5 sandwiches or less. 5 is the most that we can have. So which inequality or inequalities describes this? These two over here. So you can see here S is next to the pointy part in both of these, okay, which means that S can be less than 5. That's fine. And we also have this line here saying that S could be exactly equal to 5. If we bring exactly 5 sandwiches, then we'll be exactly at the maximum number of sandwiches. We don't want to put even one more sandwich in the bag, though. Okay, let's move on to the next one. We should bring at least 5 sandwiches. So if somebody says that we should bring at least 5 sandwiches, would it be all right to bring exactly 5 sandwiches? Yeah, that would be okay. So we can fill that circle in. Is it okay to bring more than 5 sandwiches? Yeah, that's okay. If somebody says I want at least 5 sandwiches, that means 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 and so on. But if somebody said, well, I want at least 5 sandwiches, and you brought 4 sandwiches, or 3 sandwiches, or 2 sandwiches, would that be okay? No, that's no good. So for this one, at least 5 sandwiches means greater than or equal to 5. All right? Moving on here. We should bring at most 5 sandwiches. At most 5 sandwiches means 5 sandwiches is the most that we can bring. So it's okay if we bring exactly 5, that's fine. Is it okay if we bring 4 sandwiches? Yeah, that's also okay. Is it okay for 3 or 2? Yeah. So we can bring 5 sandwiches or less, But if we're saying that we should bring at most 5 sandwiches, that means that any more than that is no good. So we want 5 or less, which is these two. And really, this is the same inequality. I just have the S written on the left here and the S written on the right here. But in both of these, the important thing is the S is next to the pointy part. And we also have these lines underneath it. Okay, let's move on. We need more than 5 sandwiches. Okay, so somebody tells you, hey, we need more than 5 sandwiches here. So if you go up to them and say, okay, here, I brought you 5 sandwiches, are they going to be happy? No, they're going to tell you, we didn't want 5 sandwiches, we wanted more than 5 sandwiches. So we're not going to fill in this circle here because 5 is not okay for this. But 6 is okay, 7 is okay, and so on, right? 4 and 3 and 2, they are certainly not okay. So for this problem, this is the inequality that we want. S needs to be strictly greater than 5. What do I mean by strictly greater? I mean, I don't have this line underneath. S cannot be equal to 5. It's got to be more than 5, okay? And this inequality also says that S is more than 5 because, again, the important part here is that for both of these, the S is next to the mouth part of the inequality. Okay, so both of these say that S is greater than 5. All right, so that's we need more than 5 sandwiches. Moving on. We need less than 5 sandwiches. Okay. So for whatever, maybe we don't have a whole lot of room in our backpack to pack all these sandwiches. So we need less than 5 sandwiches. So if somebody tells you that they need less than 5 sandwiches, if you bring along 5 sandwiches, is that okay? No, that's not okay. They wanted less than that. So we're not going to fill in this circle, and we're not going to choose an inequality that has a line underneath, all right? But we need less than 5 sandwiches, so all of these are okay. So these are the inequalities that we're going to pick for this one, okay? S is strictly less than 5. Okay, it's less than 5, but it cannot be equal to 5, which is why we're not picking these two. All right, S is strictly less than 5. Moving on. The number of sandwiches we bring should exceed 5. So to exceed something means to have more than that thing. Okay, so if we want the number of sandwiches to exceed 5, that means we want more than 5 sandwiches. So we did a problem like this a couple minutes back. More than 5 sandwiches means this. It means that 5 exactly is not okay. If we want it to exceed 5, then it's got to be more than 5, but not exactly 5. Okay, so that would be these inequalities over here. And next one, the number of sandwiches we bring should not exceed 5. So this is a little bit of a tricky one. I'm going to just put a circle here. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm not going to tell you yet if we should shade that in or not. You can pause the video if you'd like and think about it if you want. What I'm going to talk about first is should it be shading to the right or to the left? So it says the number of sandwiches we bring should not exceed 5. If I bring 6 sandwiches, is that okay? No, that's not okay because that would be exceeding 5. That would be more than 5. If I bring 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 sandwiches or 11 or 12, that's no good because I'm not supposed to be exceeding 5 here. I'm not supposed to be bringing more than 5 sandwiches. But if I were to bring less than 5 sandwiches, so if I were to bring 4 or 3 or 2 and so on, then that would be okay. That's fine. Now, what about 5 sandwiches exactly? So to exceed 5 means to be more than 5. Does the number 5 itself exceed 5? Is the number 5 more than the number 5? No, it isn't. The number 5 does not exceed 5, so that's fine. because we do not want to exceed 5. If we choose 5 exactly, then we are not exceeding 5. Okay, so we can shade the 5 in here. Bringing exactly 5 sandwiches is okay for this one. And that means that we're going, no, I'm sorry, whoops. Oh, I went through this whole video without making a mistake like that. And then I just made it. Okay, so that means that for this one, we want the S, which is the number of sandwiches, to be less than or equal to 5. Okay, and I believe that's the last one. Do I have any more? Oh, whoops, never mind. Not the last one. Okay, so we should bring no more than 5 sandwiches. No more than 5 sandwiches. So again, this is very similar to we should not exceed 5. Okay, so if I want to bring no more than 5 sandwiches, and if somebody brings 7 sandwiches, is that okay? No, because that's more than 5. We don't want to bring more than 5. So 7 is not okay, 8 is not okay, 6 is not okay. But these numbers down here are okay. Okay, so that's fine. What if we bring exactly 5 sandwiches? Well, exactly 5 sandwiches is also fine because it's not more than 5 sandwiches, right? We just don't want to bring more than 5 sandwiches. But bringing exactly 5 sandwiches is still fine. So I said that this problem was similar to the last one. It's actually exactly the same as the last one. Okay, to not exceed something is the same as not bringing more than that thing. Okay, so these two again. All right, and okay, so that's for another video. So yeah, so that was the last one. So I hope that was helpful and have a great day.